Social isolation is really the absence of social contact. So if somebody lives alone or they don't have contact within the community and they're not in touch with family or friends, say more than one time a month, that's considered social isolation. Social isolation can be caused by a number of factors. A lot of it is around mobility, and it may be health issues, disability. It may be caused in a child because of bullying that they're being affected by. Other health issues with aging can also impact that, having a lack of transportation to be able to get out to different places. People who are suffering from grieving also sometimes struggle to get out as well. In fact, racism can also cause social isolation. So you can see it just comes from a variety of places. You know, I was really surprised to learn that it's an issue because it's deadly. Social isolation increases mortality as much as smoking does. It increases mortality twice the rate that obesity does. So when you think about it, it's a critical health issue in our community that we need to address. It does affect older adults, and we see that in Maine, but it also affects people of all ages. Children suffering from being bullied deal with social isolation as well. And adults, I think 40% of adults in Maine say that they feel isolation or they feel lonely. And in older adults, it's also a challenge. I think of actually my own father, who is in contact with people, but we don't realize is that he has a hearing loss. And even when he's around people, he's not able to hear, therefore he's not able to communicate. And when then that happens, he becomes and feels very isolated. And again, that's another thing that we need to try to figure out to resolve so that they can stay connected. It's such an important thing for people of all ages to be able to do. Other ways to connect, of course, first I have to say, go to a community gathering place. The Y is a great place to do that. And there are a number of other wonderful places to go and be part of a community and feel that sense of belonging. Another thing that I have used and I think is really helpful for people who aren't able to get transportation is using FaceTime or Skype. You're able these days to see people and to be able to connect and have a great conversation. Another great way that I have found is to engage in a hobby. Find out what is really important to you, what do you love doing, and then find a group to be able to do that with, whether it's volunteering with something related to your hobby or just finding a place to do it together with other people. Of course, a lot of times social isolation is caused because of a lack of mobility. So helping somebody out with transportation would be key, whether they are immobile because of a physical challenge or because they're elderly, can really help to make sure that they're able to get where they're able to be in touch with other people. Investigating technology that can help people with social isolation is also really helpful. I know the Southern Maine Agency on Aging is a great resource for that. I mentioned my father and my father's hearing loss, and he loves to go out to dinner and to be with people or to go to family gatherings, but he can't hear. We've been able to find an app so that we're able to talk into that and then he can read it. And it's changed his world in his older years. He's 94 years old. He's now able to communicate with his grandchildren because they're able to use that technology. And there are lots of other technologies out there to be able to help people too. And I also want to say, don't forget the caregivers for people that they need a break too. So helping them to get a break so that they can get out and take care of themselves to prevent their own social isolation. We hear stories all the time. Two gentlemen who became friends at the Y, and they formed a really strong bond, Alan and Arnold. And Alan fell ill, and he wasn't at the Y, and Arnold started to worry about him. So Arnold took the initiative to reach out and to check on him and to find out if he was okay, and then to help him and to be with him as he was able to heal and get back to health and get back to the Y. So you hear these stories time and time again of people who have created those friendships, those relationships, and the Y's been at the core of that.